Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Adventures in Waterfed with my friends here at IPC, and of course this show hosted by windowcleaningresource.com. Well, today we're going to be talking about the HydroTube and the changing of the filters. Now, the HydroTube is a great little RODI system, helps bring your water down to 0 TDS, but it's not going to last forever. It does have a few filters inside, and 2 of them need to get changed actually periodically throughout the year. The RO membrane should last you for a few years, provided that you change the other 2 filters on a regular basis. Now, if you start to notice after a while that your TDS is a little high when you first turn on the unit, this is normal. Of course, you might get a 0.05 or a 10 or whatever, and then after about a minute or 2 it drops down to 0. That's perfectly normal. But once you start to see consistent numbers above 0, it's a very good sign that you got to be changing those filters, mainly the DI filter and the carbon sediment filter. The carbon sediment filter is very important to change because not only does it block large particles like rust or whatever before it goes into the RO membrane, but also the chlorine content in the water, which can really do a lot of damage to the RO membrane. So it's very important to change that. And IPC has designed the HydroTube so that the carbon sediment filter and the DI filter should be at the end of its life around at the same time under normal usage. So you want to change both of those at the same time, and you usually buy the filters in a combined package. So we're going to start off by changing the carbon sediment filter, which is at the bottom of the unit, and then we'll finish off changing the DI cartridge, and you'll see what's involved in that. Okay, so starting down at the bottom here, this is where the new carbon sediment filter is going to go. Down at the bottom of the HydroTube is this snap ring. It's got this little tab here that you push down with your thumb. Now, you'll probably find the very first time you ever do this that snap ring is a little bit tight. If you do find that it's tight, what you do is you grab the bottom of the HydroTube and you push in on the black part here. So you're kind of bringing that inwards, releasing some of the pressure that's on the snap ring, because this snap ring should be able to just come out like that. And then now we have to get this out, which will probably take a little bit of rocking back and forth. I've got a bit of a towel underneath here because I'm doing this inside the house. But anyway, as you can see, as we open that up, some water is coming out onto our towel, and you can see inside here we've got our carbon sediment. Again, it's a little tight, just a little bit of rocking back and forth, rocking back and forth. And as you can see, this is pretty disgusting compared to a brand new one. You want to make sure that you don't lose this piece here. This is your O-ring. Very important piece to keep your seal proper. So now we got that out. Take a look inside there. Now the only thing we're going to need off here, we have to rock off this little cap. Might be a little bit tight. This cap was exceptionally tight there, so what I did was I took a little bit of a flathead screwdriver and very, very gently just pried underneath it to pull that out. It's actually pretty sticky on here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So this is the old, and this is the new. Now, before you put this one in here, what you want to do is you get this magic lube. This came with my HydroTube. You might have got it with yours as well. And you just want to put just a little dab of it on there. Again, this is all for keeping a nice good seal. And then push this on here. As you can see, it's in there nice and snug. And this will go back into place over here. You're also going to want to put a little bit of this lube, magic lube, on your O-ring. That sits in there. Make sure it's sitting nice and proper. And then, oh, it's not in right. There we go. Of course, you want to make sure everything is sitting proper before putting everything back into place. And you can just, again, like I was showing you before you took out the snap ring, you can give it a good press down here and feeding tail end first into here, and everything snaps into place. Now, as you can see, I don't do this a lot. It's only the second time doing this. Still a little out of practice. So don't feel concerned if you're struggling a little bit. Again, you just want to make sure everything is seated in here nicely. And there we go, we're all set there. Okay, now we're doing the top end where the DI cartridge goes. Again, it has a snap ring in here. And like I said about the other on the downside, if it's a little bit too tight, again, you do that thing where you grip the sides of the HydroTube and push down on the end cap there, and then you can pull out your snap ring. Then off to the side, again, this cap will have to be kind of rocked a little bit back and forth, and there is our old DI, and this will come out here. That down there. Now, before we put that back on, here's the new DI. You get the male end and the female end, and you can see that they're different sizes. So there's really only one way for it to go back into place. Just take a look inside there. So it's going to go in like that, and then that's going to go in like that. But before we do that, we want to, again, put a little bit of magic lube. Just put a little bit down here. Okay. And put a little bit on there. And also there's an O-ring in here, so we can put that on there as well. Also at this time we can take a look and see if there's any other kind of contaminants in there. There shouldn't be, and there's not. So close that up. Put the small end to the bottom of the end cap part here. Just drop that into place, push that down. Again, do that thing where you would grip the sides of the HydroTube, push that down, grab our snap ring, feeding from the tail end first, put it into place. It's not going in right. Means you have to push down the cap a little bit more. And there we go. Everything's all back into place there. And we're ready to pump some pure water out of this baby again. Anyway, join me next time on Adventures in Waterfed. I'm Mark the Window Cleaner. Bye for now.